The Transvestite is a classical Chinese short story written by Pu Songling, Qing Dynasty novelist, and is part of his collection Strange Stories from a Chinese Studio. The story revolves around Wang Erxi, a man who cross-dresses as a woman, and after violating numerous women, he is castrated by Ma Wanbao. He narrowly escapes death, and remains deeply grateful to Ma Wanbao, living alongside him. Scholar Ma Wanbao, a native of Dongkan, was a carefree and unrestrained individual. His wife, Lady Tian, also possessed a free and uninhibited personality. Despite this, the couple shared a deep affection for each other. One day, a woman arrived in the village and took up residence with an elderly widow who lived next to Ma Wanbao. She claimed to have fled from her in-law's abuse and sought temporary refuge. The woman was highly skilled in sewing, often assisting the elderly widow with her needlework, which pleased the widow greatly and led to her staying on. After a few days, the woman began claiming to provide massages to women at night, specifically for treating abdominal ailments. The elderly widow visited Ma Wanbao's home and praised the woman's medical skills to Lady Tian, who paid no mind to it. Another day, Ma Wanbao caught a glimpse of the woman through a crack in the wall. She appeared to be around 18 or 19 years old, and had a striking appearance. He found himself drawn to her. Ma Wanbao secretly discussed with his wife, and devised a plan to lure the woman by pretending that Lady Tian was ill. The plan was to swap the woman for another man. At nightfall, the elderly widow brought the woman over and inquired, "Will your husband return tonight?" Lady Tian replied, "No, he won't." The woman expressed relief, and after a brief conversation, the elderly widow left. Lady Tian lit a candle, prepared the bed, and allowed the woman to lie down. She undressed herself and extinguished the light. Suddenly, Lady Tian said, "I almost forgot, the kitchen door isn't closed. Don't let the dog steal food." She got out of bed, opened the door, and Ma Wanbao entered, having switched places with Lady Tian. Ma Wanbao stealthily climbed into bed next to the woman. She trembled, and said, "I'm here to treat the lady's illness." She said some intimate words, but Ma Wanbao remained silent. The woman's hands roamed his stomach, moving lower and lower, until she suddenly exclaimed in shock and fear. She seemed as startled as if she had grasped a venomous snake or scorpion. She tried to escape, but Ma Wanbao caught her and discovered that she was actually a man. Ma Wanbao was horrified, and he called for a light. Lady Tian, assuming that the woman had refused, rushed in to mediate. To her surprise, she found a man on his knees begging for mercy. He looked embarrassed and scared, and quickly fled. Ma Wanbao questioned him further, and learned that the man's name was Wang Erxi. He claimed to be from Guqing, and had learned the art of cross-dressing from his brother, who was a disciple of Songkong. The story continues, but this excerpt covers the initial events and characters in the narrative. After nightfall, the elderly widow led the woman inside and asked, "Will your husband return tonight?" Lady Tian replied, "No, he won't." The woman joyfully responded, "That's good, then." After exchanging a few words, the elderly widow departed. Lady Tian then lit a candle, spread the bed, and had the woman lie down. She undressed as well and extinguished the light. Suddenly, she said, "I almost forgot, I didn't close the kitchen door. Don't let the dog steal food." She got out of bed, opened the door, and swapped with Ma Wanbao. Ma Wanbao tiptoed in, got onto the bed next to the woman, and lay down on the same pillow. The woman, with a trembling voice, said, "I'm here to treat the lady's illness." She spoke some intimate words, but Ma Wanbao remained silent. The woman's hand wandered across his stomach, gradually moving lower until it reached below his navel. Her hand stopped suddenly, and she exclaimed in shock. Her expression was a mixture of astonishment and terror, as if she had grasped a venomous snake or scorpion. She rolled off the bed and tried to escape, but Ma Wanbao caught her. He reached between the woman's legs and found that even she was actually a man. Ma Wanbao was shocked and urgently shouted for a light. Lady Tian, thinking that the woman was resisting, rushed in to mediate. Upon entering, she saw the man on his knees, begging for mercy, a blend of embarrassment and fear, and he quickly fled. Ma Wanbao questioned him closely. He introduced himself as Wang Erxi from Guqing, claiming that his elder brother Wang Daxi was a disciple of Songkong, and thus, he learned the art of cross-dressing from him. Ma Wanbao further inquired, "How many people have you defiled?" Wang Erxi replied, "I've just started, only 16 so far." Ma Wanbao considered Wang Erxi's heinous actions deserving of execution and contemplated reporting him to the local authorities. Yet, he was also captivated by Wang Erxi's beauty and couldn't bear his death. Therefore, he tied him up and castrated him. Wang Erxi lost consciousness, and it took about the time of a meal for him to awaken. Ma Wanbao helped him onto the bed, covered him with a blanket, and instructed, "I will use medicine to treat your wounds. Once you've healed, you must spend your life with me. Otherwise, I will report you to the authorities and have you executed." Wang Erxi repeatedly nodded in agreement. The next day, the elderly widow visited again. Ma Wanbao deceived her, saying, "She is my cousin, Wang Erxi. Because she's barren, her husband's family drove her out. She explained the situation to me last night, and that's how I found out." Suddenly, she felt unwell, and I was about to buy medicine for her, when she asked me to go to her husband's home and request that she stay here to keep my wife company. Upon hearing this, the elderly widow entered the house to see Wang Erxi, who looked pale. She inquired about his condition, and he claimed, "There's sudden swelling in my private area, possibly a sore." The elderly widow believed him and left. Ma Wanbao then tended to Wang Erxi's wounds, and he gradually recovered over the following days. At night, the two engaged in secret liaisons. In the morning, Wang Erxi assisted Lady Tian with chores, like fetching water, cooking, cleaning the courtyard, and mending clothes, behaving like a servant. Not long after, Sangkong's group was exposed and defeated, with 7 members, including Songkong, executed. Only Wang Erxi escaped. Authorities issued strict orders for his capture. Suspicion fell on Wang Erxi in the village, prompting them to gather the elderly widows and have them discreetly touch his private area through his clothes to confirm his identity as a woman. This dispelled doubts. Wang Erxi was immensely grateful to Ma Wanbao. He truly followed him for the rest of his life, and after his death, he was buried beside the Ma family tomb. The vague outline of his grave still remains. Yi Shi said, "Ma Wanbao could be described as someone adept at using people. Children like crabs and play with them, but they fear their pincers. Therefore, one can cut off the pincers and keep the crab. If this concept is understood, one can govern the world."